Hey everyone, I am to you today to bring both preambles of the Pennsylvania State Constitution. And I want you guys to see the difference between the two and point out some really important stuff, especially in the original one. So I'm going to show you the current one now. And we are going to read that real quick. Okay, so this is from ballotpedia.org, where you can look up any state constitution. It's also a good site for looking up a lot of governmental things as well. But here we have the preamble: that the general, great, and essential principles of liberty and free government may be recognized and unalterably established. We declare that. Okay, so that's what we have right now. And now we are going to go to the original Pennsylvania Constitution, and we're going to read that. And it's definitely more in depth. So it's going to take me a couple more minutes to do this. I'm trying to keep these short for you guys. But it is important for y'all to see this because this has been taken away from us. And here we have the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, 1776. The Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, as established by the General Convention elected for that purpose and held at Philadelphia in July 15, 1776, and continued by adjournments to September 28, 1776. Whereas all government ought to be instituted and supported for the security and protection of the community as such, and to enable the individuals who compose it to enjoy their natural rights, our inherent rights that come with us from God, and the other blessings which the author of existence, again, God, has bestowed upon man. And whenever these great ends of government are not obtained, the people have a right by common consent, means we come together and consent together to change it, to take such measures as to them may appear necessary to promote their safety and happiness. So guys, we really just need to come together to promote our safety and happiness. This is exactly what this is saying. I want you all to pay close attention to this next section because it's super, super important. And we're right here. Sorry. And whereas the inhabitants of this Commonwealth have, in consideration of protection only, heretofore acknowledged allegiance to the King of Great Britain, and the said king has not only withdrawn that protection, but commenced and still continues to carry on with unabated vengeance a most cruel and unjust war against them, employing therein not only the troops of Great Britain, but foreign mercenary savages and slaves, for the avowed purpose of reducing them to a total and abject submission to the despotic domination of the British Parliament, with many other acts of tyranny, more fully set forth in the Declaration of Congress, whereby all allegiance and fealty, which means on the etymology site, it means loyalty, fidelity. You know, basically you would have to pledge your loyalty and submit to the king is what this is saying. And his successors are dissolved, and at an end, all power and authority derived from him, the king, ceased in these colonies. Right here, we declared our independence by putting the king on notice. And whereas it is absolutely necessary for the welfare and safety of the inhabitants of said colonies that they be henceforth free and independent states, and that just, permanent, and proper forms of government exist in every part of them, derived from and founded on the authority of the people only. The people only. Agreeable to the direction of the Honorable American Congress, we, the representatives of the free men of Pennsylvania in General Convention, met for the express purpose of framing such a government, confessing the goodness of the great governor of the universe, God, who alone knows to what degree of earthly happiness mankind may attain by perfecting the arts of government, in permitting the people of this state, by common consent and without violence, deliberately to form for themselves. So we're forming what type of government we want ourselves after we declared our independence. Such just rules as they shall think best. So whatever we feel is best for governing their future society, and being fully convinced that it is our indispensable duty to establish such original principles of government as will best promote the general happiness of the people of this state and their posterity, our children, our future generations, and provide for future improvements without partiality. We don't see a lot of that. For and or prejudice against any particular class, sect, or denomination of men, whatever, due by virtue of the authority vested in us by our constituents, ordain, declare, and establish the following Declaration of Rights and frame of government to be the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and to remain in force therein forever, and to remain in force therein forever, unaltered, except in such articles as shall there hereafter on experience be found to require improvement. So if things need improved, they're only supposed to enhance things for us, our public servants and trustees, not take away anything. So we can amend if there needs to be improvements. And which shall be the same authority of the people, fairly delegated as this frame of government directs, be amended or improved for the more effectual obtaining and securing the great end and design of all government herein before mentioned. So you can see there's a very stark difference between those two, just the preambles of our Constitution, how much they have taken away from us. In the current version is like 3 sentences, and this one is basically a whole notice in itself, where our founders penned our independence from British tyranny, which we're doing all over again. So I wanted you guys to see that original preamble where we gave written notice to the king that we are declaring ourselves independent and free from you and your tyranny. And that's super important. So wanted to give you guys that. I'm going to do a couple more short videos. I'm going to end this one with the preambles. Thank you.